morning. Thank you for your time today. With only 20 minutes, I'm going to move through the presentation quickly so we have some time for the Q&A. I will be making forward-looking statements. Encourage you to become familiar with this safe harbor and the risk factors in our 10K. Gold Resource is a shareholder-focused precious metal producer. We're delivering a growth profile of low-cost, high-margin production. We've achieved 7 consecutive years of profitability, and that's no small feat. I don't know that there's anybody else in this room as a mining company that can say that. We're targeting over a 100% increase to our gold production. That's material for any company. We're distributing monthly dividends to maximize total return, and we're demanding high return on owner-invested capital.
For the best editorial on junior mining, visit cambridgehouse.com/mining. Click the link in the description below to learn more.
The mining industry continues to be in transformation after that brutal bear market. Still, and I hope it stays this way, investors and mining companies are dismissing growth for growth's sake. That's a good thing. They're changing, they want to see a return on capital investment standard. That's also a good thing. And they want to see cash flow to include dividends. We have a very conservative corporate structure. Most of you are aware that most explorers in this room have hundreds of millions of shares outstanding. Most producers have 500 million, 1 billion shares outstanding. We have just 57 million shares outstanding as a producer. Our last capital raise was August of 2010. We've had 8 years of organic growth. We have 0 warrants, 0 long-term debt. We're both a growth and an income equity. On the growth side, we've taken our market cap from 25 million up to 250 million. We're also an income equity. We've paid consecutive monthly dividends since going into commercial production, and I don't believe there's ever been another mining company do that. We currently only pay 2 cents per share per month. However, at one of my final slides, I'll highlight when we were paying 6 cents per share per month. We currently only pay 2 cents per share per year, But we hope to go back to those days. We IPO'd in 2006 at $1 per share. We've returned well over $2 a share, so not too many mining companies, or any company for that matter, will return twice their IPO. And we've returned over $111 million to our shareholders. We're committed to gold and silver, diversifying our own treasury. We have currently about 3.4 million in our gold and silver bullion. I think all mining companies should do that, and if we did that, it could strengthen the gold price itself. We're providing a unique dividend option. Cash is the default, but those that choose to opt into our program can have that cash converted into these 3/9 fine 1-ounce rounds that we mint, and they can take delivery of those. We're the only company to achieve that.
For the best editorial on junior mining, visit cambridgehouse.com/mining. Click the link in the description below to learn more.
We have 2 mining units. Our Nevada mining unit, which is new to us, and I'll talk about it. We're building a project there. And our Oaxaca mining unit, where all our production comes from. We're looking in the Americas, mining-friendly jurisdictions. We're chasing high-grade gold and silver. This is our 2017 production outlook. The 4th quarter's not out yet, so I can't speak to those numbers, but you can see that we were well on track to reach our quarterly numbers of yearly numbers of 27,000 ounces gold and 1.7 million ounces silver at the end of Q3. Now, in this shows our growth profile, targeting over 100% increase. The bottom, where it says Oaxaca, I'm leaving it for steady state so you can see the impact of the Isabella Pearl project. But this will launch us into over 100% increase to our gold production, very material for any mining company. Turning to our Oaxaca mining company, where our production currently comes from, though, we have 6 potential high-grade gold and silver properties. They're all within trucking distance to the AGUILA mill that we built on the right-hand side of the trend. It's our long-term objective to have all 6 properties feed ore to the mill. This will enable us to limit CapEx expenses, enable us to put projects into production quicker, and it'll allow us to maximize head grade through the mill when you can blend. We have 6 properties, all of them 100% interest. 2 are in production, with the AGUILA being the larger of the 2, and GRACIA being one we brought in and online ourselves as well, and I'll speak about that in a moment. Costs. We are in the low-cost peer group, so whether you want to look at us in the Gold Institute's cash cost, we're $97 versus a peer of $670, or an all-in, which is the much more important number, we're $724 versus $878. Now, we produce high-grade gold and silver. However, we do produce copper, lead, and zinc, because this is a polymetallic deposit, and we're very fortunate that it is. And so whether you want to see it as a byproduct credit, which is the middle column, or the column on the right, you can see $51 million was generated in the first 3 quarters of 2018. So it's a material part of our revenue, which is nice. I mentioned that we've been profitable for 7 consecutive years. We're very proud of that fact, and again, I don't think there's another company in this building that can say that. I've been putting 2016 and 2017 so you can see just in the first 3 quarters of 2018, we're beating or meeting the metrics of the prior years. Now right now, 51% of our revenue comes from precious metals, with the rest from base, but once we get Isabella Pearl in production, which is in our Nevada mining unit, we're going to tip heavily into gold, but we will still have nice exposure to silver and base metals. We have a very flexible mill design with a flotation circuit and an agitated lead circuit, so we're well positioned to process any ore we expect to find. We're in an epithermal vein system. If you're unfamiliar with that term, these are some of the highest grade, most sought after style of deposits in the world. So we're in a great area. Again, high grade gold and silver, copper, lead, and zinc. You can see in the cartoon in the upper right, we access this through different spiral and switchback declines with rubber tired vehicles. This is a plan map of the ARISTA mine, and I'm showing you where we've been mining for the last 7 years. This system, we call it the ARISTA vein system, continues to grow, and I'll highlight that in a moment. But a few years ago, we discovered the switchback vein system, and I believe this will be our next 7 to 10 years of production. We fully expect to be here for at least the next decade. These are some high-grade intercepts showing both vein systems are expanding, and these were some highlights from 2018. If you're a geologist in the crowd, a picture's worth 1,000 words. These are very powerful veins. The picture in the upper right was kind of an anomalous area to this deposit. This vein swelled out to about 40 meters wide, which is really unique. Now, it's in no way near our average of 1 to 4 meters, but it just is to show you and tell you that this is a very powerful vein system, and we have not found all that's here. ALTA GRACIA is another project we have along our trend. We put this into production with our own cash flow, bootstrapping it. I know I'm not impressing you with 150 tons per day, but the whole point here is to do it with cash flow, get it into production, have it generate cash so that it can build itself, and that's what we're doing. This is not the time and place to go into all our exploration potential, but we have this 55-kilometer trend. We've drilled each end and in the middle with high grade, so we expect to be here for a very long time in OAXACA. Turning gears to the Nevada mining unit, it's in the mining-friendly jurisdiction of Nevada, located in the Walker Lane mining district. 4 high-grade properties are all potential open-pit heap leaches, so this will be a very nice complement to our underground operations in Mexico. 100% interest in all of them. They're all in exploration stages, but the Isabella Pearl we're targeting to get into production middle of this year. As we zoom into our properties, notice the close proximity. So there's a real good synergistic mining approach here, similar to in Mexico where we're trucking ore to a strategically located mill. Here, though, we want to move the facilities to each project as we go from one to the other. So their close proximity is great. I want to highlight the red grades here. We are not chasing the 0.5 grams that so many in this industry do and try to make up on it on tons. We are, on all our properties, have the potential to be north of 1 gram, and that's our threshold. And you can see Isabella Pearl, almost 200,000 ounces, proven probable at 2.22 grams gold. These are some recent pictures. You can see the crusher in the top picture, the mining fleet, and then that picture was taken a couple weeks ago, or sooner actually. You can see the pregnant and barren solution ponds. You can see the ADR plant being built and the first ROM lift. So a lot's going on out at Isabella Pearl. We're targeting production middle of this year, ramping up from 29,000 up to 40,000 ounces, so this will be very material for us. Good CapEx, 30 million plus or minus 10%, and we were granted our mining permits in May and broke ground in June, so it's happening quickly. The Isabella Pearl are 2 peaks. The Isabella outcrops at the surface at 1 gram, but what we're really chasing is the Pearl at the 5 gram core, and that's when that'll be a good year when we get into that Pearl pit. Estimated cash cost is good at $650 and great metallurgical recovery. You can see the test work charts on the right at 94% crushed and 76% ROM, but we backed that off to a conservative 81 at half-inch crushed and 60% ROM. The Isabella Pearl is noted here on the right side of the blue trend that we've locked up. We've locked everything in blue we own. Off to the right are other open pit heap leaches. This is to show you we're on a specific trend. So Isabella will be the next one. Santa Fe had 300,000 ounces produced out of that. Isabella will be at least 200,000, but we've locked up this entire 6-mile trend, and we expect to find additional deposits. Moving to our other properties in Nevada, we have our MINA Gold. Again, look at the high grade. We're not chasing 0.5 gram here. This has had some metallurgical test work done, some patented claims which could help us when we move this forward, and a lot of upside potential. East Camp is another property that we picked up recently. Home run potential. Whereas I showed you drill results that we drilled from the last slide, these are all other companies' drill results. And we think they were drilling in the wrong place. Now, we're going to swing for the fences and go to where we think it has real big potential, and if we miss, we're going to come back to this area, delineate this, and move it forward that way. But we think this has home run potential for us. And then County Line. Again, high grade. This is right next to a past million-ounce produced mine, so it's in a good neighborhood. And again, focus on the grade and the meter width, so a lot of potential. We take very seriously our employee safety and health with ongoing studies and commissions. We're very proud of our mine camp. It makes a statement and a commitment to the community that we're here for the long term. We also take very seriously our corporate citizenship, commitment to hire locally, student scholarships. We were granted our ESR seal in Mexico. What this means is anybody that does business with us in Mexico knows we're a socially responsible company with a positive social cultural impact. It's one of my last slides before we go into the Q&A. I'm highlighting the dividends we paid since 2012, when we obviously paid them before then, but you can see that in the tail end of the last bull market, we were paying $36 million a year. That coincides with, on the right, the tall 2012 on the bar graph, 6 cents per share per month. That was the year that we ran to $31 as a share price. And remember, we IPO'd at $1. We did not run to $30 based on the number of ounces we produced. That was part of it, but the big part of it is we were paying 6 cents per share per month. And we had an influx of shareholders who'd never touched a mining company in their life coming into our shares, and that was the light bulb going off. The bear market crushed the industry. Our dividend had to come down because when your margins aren't there and you don't have them, you can't pay it, but we still pay a small dividend just to show we're committed. But we've been through a almost 7-year bear market, and I'm ready for the next bull. And when we do, I think we can reverse this trend. This is a unique slide that shows these are production ounces to generate each 1 penny of dividend. And so as you move from the left to the right, you can see some companies have gotten rid of their dividend, but others have to produce almost 500,000 ounces to spin off 1 penny of dividend, and Gold Resource just 26,000 ounces. Tight capital structure, no warrants, no long-term debt. We have bullion in the bank. We have great trading liquidity, management of larger shareholders, followed by some resource-focused funds. And obviously, we're being pushed around by the market, but if you're bullish on gold and you think it's going to turn around, that's a valid reason to take a look at all gold mining companies in this room. But what's unique about us right now is that doesn't have to happen for our shares to move. We have major catalysts of 100% increase in our gold production and increased dividends at these levels. So if we are fortunate to have some metal price at our back, that would be a third catalyst. I think we're the comprehensive gold investment, where we're focused on cash, dividends, adding ounces, exploration upside, being a low-cost producer. We take that a step further, as all mining companies should do, and put some of their physical in their own treasury, put our money where our mouth is. We take the dividend a step further with the gold and silver rounds, and then a growth curve. That's what all shareholders want to see in a company typically, and right now you're catching us at a potential 100% increase. So with that, we'll probably end a couple minutes early, and just find me afterwards, please, and I'll give you your round. Thank you.